Let me begin by thanking the Ministry of External Affairs of India and the ORF for organizing India's flagship conference. I think this is the third in series, and for the kind invitation extended to me to speak to a few words today. The theme is topical and relevant. The world has witnessed the waves of liberalization, privatization, and globalization. More recently, the forces of economic nationalism have been quite active. Amidst these uneven developments and contradictions, we need to define a vision for where we will be heading as a region and as a community. I'll not go into details the facts and figure of BIMSTEC. Let me quickly highlight some of the strength that this region possesses. If economic dynamism in Asia is a prelude to become an Asian century, BIMSTEC region possesses immense potential to be a BIMSTEC century within it. It has great potential to realize high growth trajectory, and there are good reasons for that. First, strategic, geographical, and maritime location, growing importance of the Bay of Bengal that was rightly emphasized by Honorable Minister of State for Sri Lanka, and the Indian Ocean, contiguous geographical avenues. That is something a very key factor and enabling factor. Second, resource endowments from natural to human, hydro, oil, gas, minerals. There are other assets as well, cultural assets. And as I said, the region is endowed with human resources, quite young population, a vibrant population. Diversity of such resources, possibility of integration there is one aspect when we talk about mountain economy and blue economy, the potential of integrating these two economies to make this region a vibrant one. Huge market, dynamics, rising middle class, growing opportunities for trade and business, investment opportunities, infrastructure, connectivity, industrial expansion, harnessing of natural resources, and so on, vibrant and emerging private sector, and a relatively enabling political environment, no major long-standing political problems among BIMSTEC member states, shared values of democracy, and so on. These are the real strength that could transform the economic and development landscape of this region. So far, in its existence, 20 years of its existence, BIMSTEC has registered some success, primarily in identifying the areas of cooperation, developing some important mechanisms, and enhancing mutual trust and confidence among member states to grow and prosper. Number of major instruments have either been concluded or are in the process of concluding. Key areas include legal and security, trade, energy and connectivity, framework agreement, trade facilitation, customs, motor vehicle, coastal shipping, transit, grid interconnection, so on. Intra-regional connectivity has received high priority for smooth cross-flow of peoples, goods, services, and technology and ideas to enhance inter-regional trade and tourism, cultural interaction, and to develop a sense of solidarity and oneness among the people in the region. BIMSTEC underlines seamless connectivity in 5 areas, namely transport connectivity, trade connectivity, investment connectivity, energy connectivity, and people-to-people connectivity. Digital connectivity is also gaining traction in recent days. Despite all these potentials and strength, we must acknowledge that our pace of cooperation has not been satisfactory. Scale, scope and speed of cooperation have not matched the potential. So what has held us back? I'll call them barriers. For a success of any regional organization, for any meaningful integration, first of all, we have to have a clarity in our mind about our future course, destiny, where we are heading towards. What kind of cooperation we want, and what will be the degree, modality, and process of cooperation. That needs to be defined. Look at the example of other successful regional integration, the EU and even ASEAN. They have a long-term vision, defined vision, and sequential steps, well-planned course of action. All these are very vital. We have to follow that, of course, to suit our one condition, a model that would take our relationship to cooperation to a next level. This poor connectivity, Honorable Minister emphasized in his remarks that this region remains one of the least integrated regions in the world. Member state, even they do not have direct air connectivity between them. The greater the integration, the greater the prosperity. I think this message should be sent across the region well. And often, we are oversensitive about our borders, deemed more as barriers than the line of facilitation. As a consequence, the region suffers from low level of trade facilitation and low level of intra-regional trade. There is also a tendency to proliferate the activities, areas of cooperation. Multiple priorities do not match the potential to deliver the desired results. Attention seems to be diverted away from the core economic issues such as trade, investment, and energy cooperation. There is lack of implementation mechanism. Agreements are signed, commitments are made, but there is no concrete institutional mechanism to follow and monitor the implementation progress. Secretariat, just been established, is not a robust institution and lacks authority to initiate proposal and ensure implementation. The initial euphoria of concluding FTA has met reality checks. Unlike other FTAs, ours was a much broader and more comprehensive concept, encompassing not only trade in goods, but also services and investment. And there is also a perception that the mix of countries, some are LDCs, some are LLDCs, some are developing countries, and some are middle-income countries. The asymmetry that is seen in the process should also be addressed in a meaningful way, that there is space for everyone to grow and prosper.